then?
Mr. Hufflepuff. The Hufflepuff Areno. Whew. Okay. It's not as cold as it was yesterday, but it's still fucking cold. Colder than a witch's titty. We woke up to snow. Yeah. Feels like it could snow. Another chilly day. Yeah. Fucking frozen ass day.
All this moisture from this fucking
Atmospheric river. Yeah.
Whatever it's called.
There's a fucking wait, it's a bomb cyclone now? Oh. Oh. Does it even snow in Fresno? It has. It snowed one time when I was a kid in the Central Valley. And the snow didn't stick.
They just keep on terrifying us with all these like crazy storm names.
Yeah, atmospheric river, haboob, bomb cyclone. It's fucked. The fuck is a bomb cyclone? I don't even want to know. I want to avoid the bomb cyclone if that's possible. How's my day so far? Pretty young. Too early to tell. Talk to me in an hour. And in weather today, you're going to need to prepare yourself for the bloody tears of the Angel of War storm coming. Just like, huh? The what? The bloody tears of the Angel of War? Getting a whack with these, man. Coffee, cigs, weed, the trio. Well, you know they call a cigarette a cigarette and a cup of coffee. They call that a European breakfast. You add a joint and it becomes a Californian breakfast. Okay? And that's just the way it goes. I lived in Lemoore for about 6 years playing Navy. Oh, yeah. Maybe you can tell us why they're doing so many fucking test flights out of Lemoore right now. So many, like, practice flights. It's like once to twice a day, and I'm like 80 miles from Lemoore. See them F-22s flying over. What strand you smoking? Strand? Are you sure you even have enough knowledge to
Ask the question.
right to like if I told you strain plus brand? Oh, okay. Hey, whoa, all right.
So now you can't even have strains anymore. Now they got to be strands.
I think somebody just made. I think somebody made it up. new programs on flight computers they need to test out. Not to mention the F-22 is still a relatively new aircraft. Yeah. Well, we see probably once a day at least a 2-man, but sometimes a 3-man. In my, maybe you can correct me on this. The F-22, right, can fly with no pilot. Is that true or not? Maybe that's what they're testing. True. Okay. So there's a good chance that, like, maybe some of these, like, test flights that they're doing are completely unmanned. That's some stuff. The biggest setback for any airplane is the pilot. Yeah, of course, right? Your own, like, it doesn't matter how badass your plane is, you're only as good as your pilot. Plus, pilots are a huge limiting factor. Like, the human body has less stress tolerance than an airframe does, right? And so a jet might be able to pull fucking 22 Gs or some shit, you know what I mean? But the person inside of the jet is gonna fucking die from that. Oh, hell yeah, I'm gonna see this Nosferatu movie. Yeah, dude, I'm a Robert Eggers fan. He's crept his way into my heart. What strain? I gotta be honest with you, player. I don't remember. It's some blueberry fucking shit. Blueberry cobbler, something like that. Hell yeah. What are you woofing? What is it? Where's your bow? Why don't you get your bow? I'm just sunning your buns over there. Warmer today, a little bit. Not like appreciably warmer, but warm enough. Ghosts aren't real. I agree.
Be quiet.
Yeah. Paranormal. I got abducted by aliens once, or maybe not abducted, but I got moved around by an alien one time. I guess that's supernatural, since yeah, aliens I guess would be supernatural, right? Yeah, I got abducted by aliens one time. I don't have any memories of the abduction, so don't be asking me. I don't know what they did. Okay. It's probably sleep paralysis. Well, I'll tell you the story, and you can tell me if it's sleep paralysis. My parents got divorced. We had to move out of our house and didn't really have a place to stay for a while. And so we ended up staying in my best friend's backyard. I was living in a camper shell that was on blocks back there. And it was kind of cool because that summer, of course, you know, you got your best friend right there. And so we were chilling in the camper shell looking out of the little window at the top. And we saw this blue light moving around unnaturally in the sky, right? I'm trying to keep it short because I don't want to tell the whole fucking thing again. Saw a blue light moving around unnaturally in the sky, and we were like, okay, well, maybe that's a UFO. So tomorrow night we're going to camp out and see if we can see these UFOs. My friend's house was on a hill, And their backyard went down, and at the very bottom, there's like 200 yards, right, from the back of the house. And it went down this pretty reasonable slope, and then at the bottom of it was a pond. Okay? We set up our blanket, you know, we put out blankets, sleeping bags, and all that shit at the top of the hill right next to the house. And we laid out there, and we didn't see shit. And we fell asleep. And we woke up a few hours later, confused as fuck, because we were still kind of laying there. Everything was where we put it. You know, we had like a little ice chest. We had, you know, just like toys and shit that we had brought with us. All of that shit was still around us, but the blanket had been moved from the top of the hill to the bottom of the hill. So everything was still surrounding us, right? We were both in our on the blanket, in our sleeping bags. All of the crap that we had, right, was still there, but we had been functionally moved, lock, stock, and barrel, 200 yards to the bottom of a hill, and we were now like almost right up against the pond, which is, there's no way we would have set up our shit there. There's no way we could have slid down like that. I mean, so when we woke up, we were pretty freaked out. We heard a noise from the edge of the pond. I had a flashlight. We went over to the edge of the pond to see what was there. And all of a sudden, something let out a sound that's like, was like one of those like reverse pterodactyl scream kind of sounds. It was like, and it went across the pond so fast that it left a wake. Right? And that was that, dude. So, I don't know how else to explain that. The pond monster could just be a bird. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it could have been. The pond monster could have been a bird. Maybe. I don't know. It left a wake like a boat, but it could have been a giant bird, I guess. I don't know, man. I don't know what else you say happened there. You know what I mean? Like our parents came and like pulled the blanket quietly down to the bottom, like doubt, right? And they've never admitted it, like all these years later. You know what I mean? Like you'd think they would have been like, "Hey, we got you good." But I would imagine that like it's not like we were drunk or anything. We were kids. So it's like, dude, you're telling me like dragged us on a blanket from the top of a hill down a lumpy ass fucking lawn to the bottom of the hill without waking either of us up. You know what I mean? So there you go. That's my supernatural story. I can't explain it. I don't know for a fucking fact that it was aliens or whatever, but I cannot explain what happened. And I have like really clear memories of it, you know, so. Truly strange. Truly strange and inexplicable. But that's really the only time in my life that I could credibly say, well, there was that, and then when fucking TJ and Chelsea played the ghost prank on me. You know what I mean? But it doesn't matter. I mean, like, I'm not looking to be believed. I'm not like trying to fucking wake people up to the alien agenda or whatever, but I had a weird ass experience when I was a kid, you know? May as well talk about it. One time on stream, You're about to say supernatural stuff is fake and your lighter exploded. Oh, yeah. Yeah, can't have that. The dark forces. Mm-hmm. I've seen some drug ghosts, you know. Those are pretty easy to explain. The drug ghosts. Yeah. Remember that screaming you heard at the old house? Yes, I know what that was now. That was a peacock, right? We discovered that. Peacocks make some of the strangest noises. And when they're threatened, they will screech, right? And so there were two things going on that created that spooky kind of moment, right? We lived out in the country. There was a neighbor that kept peafowl. So we would hear them doing their normal calls. At night, peafowl, of course, are on the fucking defensive. We also had coyotes and foxes. Anybody that's been living around coyotes or foxes will know these animals make weird fucking noises, okay? And so what happened is that a fox or a coyote was approaching wherever this neighbor kept their peafowl. The peacocks woke up and were screeching at the coyote. Had you never heard a peacock before? Most people have not. So most people actually have not heard peafowl. Here, I'll play one for you. Okay, so that's just them kind of say I've never heard of peafowl. Well, yeah, you have. It's a peacock. That's just what you that because like that's the peacock, and then the female is a peafowl, right, or a peahen. You've seen you know what a peafowl is. A cock does tend to pee. Yeah, that is what it's for, right? Well, part of what it's for. So yeah, you've got that, and then you've got like fox noises, right? Or coyote noises. Coyotes and foxes will make these like guttural kind of coughing sounds, like bleh, 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 right? And so it was that coupled with a peafowl going ah. Yeah, they sound all kinds of like peacock calls. Peacock calls and peahen calls. You hear them? So you can hear how that could, like, you can imagine how that at night, right? And it's one peacock and it's startled or something, you could hear that out at night and be like, there's a fucking woman out here screaming. Do you have peacocks on this 9 acres of land with a big house you have no proof of growing up? Huh? I have no proof of? What do you want my old address so you can go and fucking visit it or something? What do you mean I don't have no proof of? So do you think, like, what's... Anyway. No, we did not have peacocks when I was growing up. What are you talking about, bro? It's the same dumb cunt from the other day. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I wonder if it's Small Pee-Pee Man. You guys know about Small Pee-Pee Man, right? I wonder if it's Small Pee-Pee Man. You were in denial about Small Pee-Pee Man? Okay, so there, like, as a content creator, there are some people that will get an unhealthy obsession with you, right? Whether it's liking you or hating you, right? And one of the people that hates me is a guy who I've dubbed Small Pee-Pee Man. Small Pee-Pee Man, when you can find his Reddit account, and you know how you can click on somebody's Reddit account, you can see what they're talking about, what subreddits they're going in, right? Small Pee-Pee Man goes into 2 subreddits. He goes into 2 types of subreddit. Any subreddit hating on me, and any subreddit where guys with small penises complain about not being able to get laid because they have small penises. Those are the 2 places that this guy ever spends time on the internet. I started calling him Small Pee-Pee Man because he can't, like, he'll make an alt, right? Because his Reddit gets routinely banned because people figure out he's creepy as fuck. So he'll make an alt, but he can't resist on the alt checking out Small Pee-Pee forums. And so people find him, right? And they're like, oh, it's Small Pee-Pee Man again. So that is probably like my furthest down bad stalker guy is Small Pee-Pee Man. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's my Joker, dude. Small Pee-Pee Man is my Joker, dude. He completes me. Talking about the original Woodstock or the Woodstock 99 where people got together and raped and pillaged and burned the fucking thing to the ground? The original Woodstock, I think there were a lot more injuries and shit than were widely reported. That was hippie shit, dude. That was straight out hippie shit. Woodstock 99 became a fucking goddamn funeral pyre, bro. think that's going to help my hands a little bit. Had to go break out the gloves. Oh, that's so much better. And these are those special gloves that I can use on a phone. Those are cool. We like those. What happened? My hands got fucking cold. Hands were freezing, and I remembered I'd found my gloves. What's the temperature? Let me see. It is... What is the temperature? It is 47 degrees right now. Jesus. $47. Cold, yeah. Not nice. What do you think, D? D likes it, though, when he's in the sun. Right now, it's warmer in New York than California. Well, we've got that fucking... So the reason it's so cold here is because well, not just, I mean, I guess geologically speaking, just to the north of us, there is what's called a bomb cyclone happening in southern Oregon, northern California area, right? And it's hitting the whole PNW, basically. So that's really unfortunate for me, because at the end of this week, I'm planning on trying to pull that pass to go to Thanksgiving with my wife's family. They live up in the Seattle area. And so it's not a horrible drive, but, well, at least for me, but getting over those passes could be sketch. I'm kind of hoping that it peters out. With a PCH, be less sketchy. Depends. We're watching. We're watching the passes. There are basically three options to get where we're going from where we are, right? PCH, which is going to be Highway 1 all the way up the coast of California, which is doable, but you're still going up over mountains. Then you've got the Central Corridor where the 99 turns into 5. The 5 goes up over the Shasta Pass. That's the one I want to pull. Because if it's not a blizzard there, that's an easy pass to pull. And that one goes down into the kind of like valley in Oregon. And then we've got to pull another pass coming up out of Oregon going into fucking Washington. Woof. And then there's the eastern way, right? Where we go through Utah up and come in to Washington from the east. That's the longest route around. I know you're a Cali supremacist, but what state other than Cali do you admire somewhat? Alaska. I like Alaska. I think Alaska is pretty chill. I'm not... Look, dude, I ain't promising nothing. But for my long-term plans, Alaska's on the table. Let me just put it that way. Like Fairbanks, North Pole, kind of look around, because I'm telling you, man, for a guy that wants to be left the fuck alone, you can hardly do worse than Alaska. You know what I mean? When I say left the fuck alone, I don't mean by like the world. I mean by neighbors. I don't want to be. Like, I don't mind neighborly stuff, but I just don't want. I don't want to hear neighbors, and I don't want them to have to hear me. Well, see, this is what I'm doing right now. So there's a reason why I'm sitting out here uncomfortable as fuck. I'm trying to acclimate. I'm a very adaptable person, right? I've lived in the deep ass fucking hot ass desert. So I've acclimated myself to Arizona, 120 degrees, right? And I've lived in the cold, man. I spent some time I wintered in fucking Columbus, Ohio one time. You know what I mean? So snow on the ground, ice cold bullshit, right? Right now, because I've been living in Central California where it's insanely hot during the summers, my blood and sensibilities are all attuned towards it being too hot. And so, 47 degrees is not like holy shit temperatures for people who live in Alaska, right? 47 is like a warm summer's day. So I've got to acclimate myself. I've got to acclimate myself to the cold. I've got to stop being such a little pussy about it. Mike Roch? Hey, Mike Roch. Are you kidding me, bro? Another one of you Oliver clothes off motherfuckers? You gotta, dude, my people invented it. All right? My generation invented that shit. We're the Bart Simpson generation. Amanda hug and kiss? Come on. And like inside streams where you're showing us stuff too. Well, I don't know. I gotta be honest with you guys, my brain is kind of like wild. I want, and this may be fucking ridiculous, but I want an outdoor studio. I want an outdoor studio, right? That means what I have indoors, right? I want to figure out a way to get that outdoors. So better audio quality for you guys because I'll be compressing via, but what I need is a rolling rig, right? That I can push out into my shooting area, wherever that is, presumably a backyard, right? Tripod camera, long ass HDMI, right? Have a little laptop to control the whole shit. Not a PC. Well, that's what I'm saying. A laptop, but I want a podcasting rig out there. Like you cannot a laptop, you got to get the audio, man. My audio at my desk, right? At my it's great. It's fantastic audio. It's going to be, it's going to blow away the quality that I can produce here. Just iPhone mic, right? And, if I set it up the right way too, because here's the thing, I want to tend to fire, right? So if it's cold outside, that doesn't mean that I do the show inside. Now I want to have a rig, obviously. If it's blizzarding, it's whatever where I'm at. You're not going to be able to sit out in that. So I definitely want to have the ability to do my show from inside, a little indoor set, right? For when I just got to be indoors to protect myself. But the idea of tending a fire next to me, yeah, we call those a dead cat in the business, Otello. Big dead cat. But think about that. Like me, because I have to be honest with you guys, I am more comfortable in this environment than I am sitting indoors ever. I hate my studio right now. I feel trapped in that motherfucker, bro. And so having the ability to move my whole production to an outdoor space would be phenomenal for me. Of course, you know, it's going to require eventually to really truly implement this. It's going to require that I have a private drive. It's going to require that I live on acreage and where I can restrict people's ability to come up to my house for any reason, right? Because, you know, if you're living in a neighborhood and you've got a big backyard or something, you know, neighbors could fire up their fucking lawnmower in the middle of your show and you got to move the whole fucking thing. You just can't, you can't have unexpected, retarded, loud bullshit going on, right? Can I be your gate guard? No, I'll take care of that. I got the beam. I'll take care of that. Trust me. Want to stay inside, D? Too cold? I don't want to come out. Come on. I'm just asking. I was just asking. Okay, bud? Don't get butthurt about it. I was just asking. Are you going to come up here? Come on. Come around here and jump up. Come on. All the way. All the way. You're just looking for a fetch? Okay. All right. Well, we can do that too. Gorilla posted up at the gate. No, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't want to sound like, you know, I'm a violent person or whatever, but I grew up in the country and I know how to like if you have the type of a place where you're not expecting people to show up, right? I know how I would handle that, right? Like is all I'm saying. Custom shed is my call. No, dude. Gate, barbed wire, posted warning, and a camera. Right? Trespassers will be shot. Big gate. I've got the remote that opens the gate. Bzzz. Nobody else does. Mailbox on the outside. Drop your shit there, right? You're right. Amelia put me up on game about that. Do you know why people don't put up beware of dog anymore? Because it's used as like a pretext in court to say that you knew your dog was dangerous. Yeah. So you're absolutely right about that. Just no trespassing, no soliciting, no unannounced visitors. Yeah. So that makes sense that you would not want to do that with yourself either. That's dumb, yeah, but it just is what it is, man. Yeah, Amelia put me up on game because we were walking down the Bob Jones Trail and there's some private property that butts up against it. And they had this stupid sign that was just like, you know, hey, there are dogs or something. I can't remember how they put it, but I was just like, why not beware of dog? And she's like, oh, you can't do that anymore. Look, you get sued if. And I was like, what? Mm-hmm. America really is the land of the litigious, the land of litigation. You don't want to get one at all, Abby, because if your little Chihuahua nips somebody and you have a beware of dog sign, you're fucked. They're gonna say you knew that dog was a biter. This person had to go get a rabies shot and blah 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 blah, and you owe them fucking 80 grand. Just don't do it. So I would put up a a no trespassing, no soliciting, no unannounced visitors. There'd be a camera on it. And if somebody I didn't know pulled up there, you know what I mean? There's no way for them to get in. And if they try to get in, then there's no way for them to get out. Seen Bigfoot? Nope. Never seen a Bigfoot. I don't believe in a Bigfoot. I would love if there was a Bigfoot, because I think he would be totally. I think Bigfoot would be chill as fuck to hang with, but I just don't believe that's a possibility. Yeah. I think I'm gonna get myself a dash cam rig and shit for that very fucking reason, because just being able to fucking have some sort of physical proof of what happened. Paul's fit goes hard with the gloves on. Okay, cool. My fit. Skinwalker thing? Bigfoot is pretty common around here, man. My mom's got a Bigfoot story, bro. She never saw Bigfoot, but she claims that she had an encounter. So Bigfoot's pretty big around here. There's like, if you go up northern Cali, there's like a whole ass Bigfoot museum up there. She didn't see Bigfoot. She said that, okay, so I'll tell you the story. So, my mom's, my grandfather, so my mom's dad, right? He liked to do like rough camping. That was his thing. So like, if you've never been rough camping, that you're lucky if you pack a tent in, right? You take a tent, you take a fucking warm sleeping bag, you sleep on the ground, you start your own fire. He liked to do that, right? And so my mom was, so he would oftentimes just put a tarp over the bed of the truck and they would sleep in that, right? So that's what they were doing one night. They were rough camping. Dad had taken the truck off trail. Granddad had taken the truck off trail. Mom was with him this time. He would take the kids camping and shit. And so my mom and one of my older uncles was with them. And the three of them were sleeping in the bed of his truck. And with a tarp pulled up over it, right? And my mom woke up in the middle of the night because the truck was shaking. And when she woke up, her dad grabbed her arm to kind of tell her, like, and something was moving against the truck, right? Okay, now, the thought process probably, if you're out in the woods in California, is going to be bear, right? There's a bear moving along the side of the truck, pushing up against it or something, right? And so, my mom's laying there in the bed of the truck. They're all three of them are awake, right? Well, there's no elk in California, but I get the thought process. So you know, her dad's like, shh, you know, keeping them quiet. Something's rubbing up against, you know, like the whole thing's shaking. An elk, I know, whatever. The whole thing's shaking, right? And so my dad, or not my dad, her dad goes, shh. And then all of a sudden he goes, run! Starts clapping, right? And this is how my mom tells the story. Something made a noise like, woo! Right? Dad had a gun, right? Granddad had a gun. Threw that tarp back, right? And my mom said she looked. Brother had a spotlight lamp, right? Like a fucking big mag light. Turned it on, and 12 feet in the air, tree branches were going like this. 12 feet up. So that's my mom's Bigfoot story. Not windy, dead fucking calm at night. No other trees moving, just like wherever it was that thing ran to, went. It was up, way up there. Those branches were moving. No wind. Crazy, right? She believes in Bigfoot, yeah. Because of that, yeah. Since she was little, maybe 7 feet, maybe so. But still, even if it was 7 feet up, what's busting through the trees at 7 feet tall, head and shoulders, enough to make the branches, you know? I don't know, man. Pretty crazy. I've never had nothing like that before. I've done some camping. I've done some rough camping and stuff. I've never had an encounter like that. I had a black bear when I was a kid. But typically those are looking to like raid your fucking snacks. They're not looking to kill you. Although you don't want to fuck around with them. Yeah, it was a family friend of ours when I was growing up, owned property up in the Sierras. Had this beautiful, like, off-grid log cabin out there and shit, and we would go and rough camp by his creek. And it was just bear, black bear city over there. But it became like something that wasn't like, the first couple of times I remember when I was a kid, I was like, whoa, it's a bear. I was kind of scared of it, but like once you'd been up there a few times and just knew that like, they're going to be around, you know, they don't care. You're going to have encounters with wild animals. Fear is a really dangerous emotion to display, right? Triggers the prey drive and a lot of predatory animals, and it triggers like a big ass moose or something to chase you down and kill you. Moose is one of the most fucking dangerous things you can bump into in the fucking woods, bro. I'll take a black bear or a fucking brown bear over a moose any fucking day, dude. A moose will fucking grind you into paste, dude. A bull moose that's like defending its territory or whatever will motherfucking murder you. And they don't stop, bro. They don't stop. Way, way, way less likely to have a self-preservation instinct than like a grizzly bear, right? A grizzly is going to look at a human and go like, I don't know about this fucking shit. Maybe I do want to bite it. Maybe I don't. That decision-making process is not happening in a moose's head. A moose looks at you, thinks you're a threat. Big bull moose defending its territory, it's going to turn you into paste, bro. Legitimate paste. There's no self-preservation instinct. It's like, it's me or you, bitch. And it's always going to be you. Yeah, fear doesn't come into it. Like that's why I said self-preservation when a moose is trying to eliminate a threat doesn't enter the equation. A bear is like, what the fuck is this thing? Can it hurt me? You know what I mean? A moose is like, I don't give a fuck what you You know what I mean? You're fucked. Stomp your ass. Is moose meat tasty? I've never eaten a fucking moose, bro. Are you fucking kidding me? Dude, I've never eaten a moose. Are you fucking kidding me? Dude, how many of you fuckers have eaten a moose in here, bro? There's like 15 of you fucks that have eaten a moose? The fuck is eating a moose? What the fuck? Oh, Canadians. I forgot. You guys do have moose up there. Yeah. So it's like here we eat venison a lot, right? Because it's just deer city. And for you guys, you got to add a little extra fucking unguent to hunt up there, and it's a moose. Oh yeah, mousse, yeah. I do like that fluffy, light chocolate, yeah. I mean, anything that's game is going to be gamey, man. You know, I'm not a big fan. I've had venison before. I've had, you know, I'll tell you what, the only exotic unguent meat that I've had, or unguent, is that what they are? No, they're unguents, right? Anyway, who cares? Is buffalo. Have you guys ever had bison? There's a place here in California. It's up in the coastal range called Casa de Fruta. And they have a free-range bison ranch there. And you can get bison steak, bison burgers. Dude, a bison burger is going to be the best hamburger you've ever fucking had in your life, bro. It hits so different, bro. I'm not even kidding you, dude. Nah, dude. I'm telling you right now, dude, bison is delicious, bro. The best burger that you'll ever have, dude. Works good as like burritos. You can do carne asada bison. It's fucking, dude, it's legitimately a level up from even really good ground beef for a burger. I've never had a bison steak. Fantasizing about meat, Paul, isn't that off limits? No. So here's the thing, is like, I don't eat meat now at this point in my life, and I haven't for a year, which is kind of crazy to think about. But it's not a moral thing. It's not a prescriptive thing. It's not a religious thing. I don't eat meat because the texture fucking grosses me out most of the time. Yeah? And so, like, Thanksgiving is coming up. I don't know that I will, but if I decide that, hey, dude, I want a little slice of turkey with my fucking yams and mashed potatoes and gravy and shit, I throw down I'll grab a piece of turkey and I'll have it. There's no, like, judgment, and there's not, like, a clock running where I'm trying to be, I just, at this point, save one instance. So, like, when is St. Patty's Day? Isn't that in March? Or is it in May? I think it's in March, is it not? St. Patty's Day, my mum makes corned beef and cabbage. And so this last St. Patty's Day, she invited me over, and I had myself a right and proper portion of that corned beef and cabbage, you know. But that's the only meat I've had this year at all. Yeah, it's a preference thing. Well, it's not even a preference. Like, I just have really severe textural issues with certain meats and shit. Spent my whole life, like, thinking I was an idiot and forcing myself to eat stuff that was grossing me out, right? Because outside of America, I guess in certain places it would probably be true, but the meat culture here is fucking insane in America. It's like, dude, people will eat nothing but meat, right? It's like meat isn't a part of the meal. Meat is the meal, like 5 days out of 10. You know? Dude, I've got cabbage soup in the house. That's fucking dope. Amelia, well, it's my mom's cabbage soup recipe. Amelia learned how to make it, and it's, dude, it is so fucking good. I haven't decided if I'm having turkey. You know? I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, there's a real heavy meat culture in the country that I grew up in, and especially the region I grew up in. I grew up in like a rural area where it's just like beef, pork ribs, everything's red meat, right? Yeah. Argentina. That's why I stopped myself, because I know that like Argentina, Brazil, just South America in general has a heavy meat culture. So does Mexico. You know, so it's like an American continent thing, I think, maybe, is a better way to put it. This wind. Killing me, Smalls, with the wind. Come on now. Come on now, buddy. Come on now, buddy. Wind. Okay. Stoner trick. That's a new one on me. Who taught me that one? Was it Phoebes? Somebody taught me that from chat. So yeah, anyway. I don't obsess about it, and I'm not grossed out by the things that I eat now. I don't have weird issues because I just don't eat meat. I've lost a lot of weight, and I think that dietarily speaking, that's most of it, right? I'm not exactly like being ultra active. I'm way more active now than I was when I was pushing 400 pounds. But most of the weight loss that I've had has been diet. Like most of it. You feel, well, I am technically lighter. I'm close to 80 pounds lighter on the last check. So it's pretty crazy. Heaviest I was 783. Bro, mad respect for surviving that. Did you find you felt mentally sharper with the new diet? Well, a lot of that had to do with like sleep shit too. So, CPAP. So I'm on a CPAP, and that helped. Like, dude, I was having. So I'll tell you guys what happened to me, right? So I got COVID in like, I managed to not get it till I think like 2022. We traveled in 2022 up to Seattle to visit my wife's parents. and somewhere along that trip, I got COVID. And I got it bad, man. I got it like, it just held on for weeks and weeks and weeks. And even after it went away, it didn't feel like it really went away, right? And I had this like brain fog, right? Where it was just like I was having trouble connecting. D, let's not. Why don't we chill out on that, bud? Oh yeah, I was way bigger too, and I got bigger as a result of all that. So anyway, here's what I think happened. This is my fucking theory. Getting COVID damaged my lungs, right? And my existing sleep apnea got worse as a result. And I started to gain weight. And I got pretty big. And so all of that kind of coalesced at the same point in my life. And I felt like I was a dead man walking. I felt like I could sleep for 12 hours, wake up, take a piss, and sleep for another 12 hours every day, right? Doing anything was like clawing through a big wet blanket. I felt like my brain was like, you know, just like fucking not quite connecting up with anything. And I thought, and I was really depressed too, because I was like, this is my new normal, bro. I'm gonna have to learn to work around whatever this is, because it just didn't go away. And I'd go to the doctor and they'd fucking do blood tests and they'd do this and they'd do that. And, you know, everything was all right, you know, not great, but all right. Like my numbers weren't, I wasn't catastrophically dying or anything. And so it was just like an endless, I was just thinking like, this was it, man. Like, this is my new normal. I'm gonna have to learn to work around this shit. And then, you know, I went to the doctor one time and I just fucking leveled with him. And I was like, look, I feel like I'm fucking dying. You guys are putting me, you know, telling me that like I need to lose weight and shit. Okay, well, then what do I got to do? You know what I mean? I feel like I can't sleep. I feel like when I eat, I feel sick. What's up? You know what I mean? And they were like, have you done a sleep study? And I was like, yes, I did a sleep study back in my late 20s. I was diagnosed with apnea. They put me on a fucking machine. I was never able to use the machine. Okay, well, we're going to give you a sleep study. I'm like rolling my eyes at this because I'm just like, dude, I can't sleep with a big giant fucking Darth Vader mask on my face. Went and did the sleep study, told the sleep doctor my concerns about the old CPAP that I was on. He was like, oh, there's new. What is that? Anyway, sounds like a swarm of bees or something. Oh, okay, it's somebody loading something onto a big truck. And, you know, the doctor told me, like, yeah, those old CPAPs were not very comfortable. They got new ones. He showed me this. The one I use is called a nasal pillow mask. So it just goes under your nose. And I was on that thing. I shit you not. I went home. I hooked it up. Got the machine, right? Went home, hooked it up, put it on, laid on my back, went to sleep, and I slept for 8 hours, and I woke up, and I felt like I'd been born again. So that changed everything. That changed everything. Dusty dude. Yeah, I mean, it happens when you're asleep. So apnea is literally you will stop breathing in your sleep, sometimes for upwards of a minute. and it keeps your brain from entering REM sleep and staying in REM sleep. So REM sleep is that restorative deep sleep, right? And yeah, there you can have mild sleep apnea. You can have extreme sleep apnea. So yeah, there's definitely like I have moderate apnea. Are you asking how do you know you have it? So if you feel like you never sleep, if you have a partner and they say that you snore all night and they hear you gasping for air at night, right? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's a good way to, maybe you want to go to your doctor and tell them about that and get a sleep study done. Because I'm telling you, man, it was like overnight. Do you know if your apnea is obstructive? It's obstructive. Do you need to see a doctor? You don't have to. Apnea machines cost about $700 and then probably another $250 for the first round of supplies and shit. So it's not like cheap, but you don't have to go through the doctor. You can just buy one on Amazon. And so the CPAP, that was a big deal. That changed kind of like my ability to think. And then shortly after that, I made the decision to change my diet. And as a result of that, over the last year, I've lost a lot of weight. Wow. What is it, D? You want to come up here? Come on. Come all the way up. Say hello to the people. Say hello. Let me tuck your chain. Tuck your chain. Tuck your chain. Okay, there we go. I tuck your chain. What you doing? The true star of the show has arrived. Dirty, Dusty D from the salty sea. The sweetest boy that will ever be. Yes, the goodest boy that will ever be. What do you think? What do you think? Bring that ball. Bring it. You gotta hand it. You gotta hand me that ball. No take, only throw doesn't work, bud. Yeah, it's a ResMed, yeah. A scale of 1 to 10, how ferocious can D be if he wants to be? In his mind, a 12. In actuality, a 0.5. And I think 0.5 is being real generous. You need a bow. Bring me a bow. Bring me your bow. I want your bow. You want to go inside? You want to go in? Okay. Come. I'm going to go get myself a cup of coffee. And I'll let you inside. Make a burrito. What a goober. What a goober. Dino was hungry. Needed his breakfast. Let's talk about buttered sausage. Talk about buttered sausage. Hello, baby. Is that warm enough for you to be out here?
Yes.
Do you promise?
Mm-hmm.
Do you pinky promise?
Pinky promise.
Okay, fair enough. I believe you, though. Otherwise, I would go and grab a coat and drape it upon you.
So sweet, baby.
A second or third coat. After COVID, had it in 2020, had brain fog and jacked eating from COVID, and old buddy showed up and got me stoned. What, bro? Get the fuck up. Bro, that's crazy. You gotta go, bro. That's retarded. I think you might still have that brain fog, bro. I think it might be in full effect. So what's going on in the world today? People fighting, feuding, looting. It's okay. Let it flow. Let it go. Let the good times roll. Tell him, Dre. Are you upset about Trump beating Kamala? Or are you still in they're the same camp? Whoa, bro. So interesting how people will construct a reality and then try and impose it in a conversation with you. I don't give a fuck that Trump won. I don't think they're both the same. I just think that they serve the same ends, right? It's like...
They're both serving Israel, both serving the health insurance companies,
energy companies, drug companies, media companies, tech companies, et cetera, 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 right? It is really interesting how people will do that, though. Like, so much heavy implication in the question. Are you still a retard, or have you gotten smart yet? You know what I mean? It's that level of heavy fucking implication. You don't need an air tank. The CPAP machine has a filter in it. It uses the air in the room, and then typically they have a water reservoir to it warms up that water and puts some like moisture in it so you're not drying out your shit. That's it. But you need to go like, I'm not Google for CPAP, okay? If you think you need one, you need to go talk to the doctor or go look into it your fucking self, okay? This is not a CPAP fucking thing. Jew hater? What? What even is that, bro? Where did that even come from? What did I say that was anti-Semitic?
I said they both serve the interests of Israel, but...
Oh, right. Got it. You're the Jew hater.
I guess.
I guess I am too, because they both serve the interests of Israel.
And that's just an example of how they're the same. How you interpret it's on you.
Yeah. What actually is politically incorrect, and is any speech incorrect, besides fighting words and threats, if you truly have freedom of speech? Okay. It's politically incorrect just means politically disadvantageous to use. It's usually like associated with like old people stuff, right? So like, for example, when I was young, it was pretty common to call people from Asia Orientals, right? it wasn't seen as like disrespectful, or at least it didn't come off that way to me. It's just kind of like what you called folks from that area, right? Now, if you do that, it's politically disadvantageous for you to use that because you're going to offend people and it sounds anachronistic, right? That's the point. Do you think advocating for gun rights and Second Amendment is identity politics? No, but it's oftentimes used like it meshes with an identitarian movement. So big 2A supporters, and there's a Venn diagram overlap between people that are heavy gun supporters and neo-Nazi groups, for example, right? Right-wing terrorist groups. Christian identity movement groups, Christian nationalist groups, white nationalist groups, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There's heavy Venn diagram overlap between Second Amendment freaks and extremist groups, right? So I'm just watching Killer Kai go through it. Like, why are you outside? Wouldn't you want to be inside? Like, his whole thought process is being jammed into the chat. And I'm just like, is this what you do, bro? Every little blah, 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 blah. Why is this guy outside? Wouldn't you want to be inside? Oh, smoking. Yeah, that makes sense because it's better to be outside for that. It's like, homeboy, your whole ass thought process was just presented to the group. I don't think we needed that deep. I don't think we needed that peak. Yeah, you got an A for effort, bro. Everything you do, Paul's ego, requires thorough explanation from start to finish. Huh? Thanks for the $10. It does require thorough explanation. You're right. Everybody's thought process. Is that no. I think it was somebody just saying, just commenting on the guy whose whole thought process was playing out in the chat. Yeah, go get some sleep, bro. I think it's time to crash. Yeah, it was a joke. We're good. Don't mind Hugs. Hugs is from fucking Iceland, okay? It's a very serious place. Okay? When the ads run, does Google give you a cut? Yes. Paul, you laughed so hard at that joke. Well, I mean, it was like, not every joke is meant to make everybody fall out, you know? You understand that, right? Like, not every joke is meant to reduce the audience to tears. You understand? Sometimes jokes are anti-humor, right? Kind of like, heh. Humorous, wry observations. Like, eh. I'm a hyper Viking. It's cold and dark, and that's my excuse for. Yeah. No, I know. That's why I said it's a very serious island, filled with a very serious group of people. Oh yeah. How hard is it for comics to bomb in a show? Way, way easier than it is to kill. Way easier. You lose an audience, bro, you can almost never get it back, right? Like, and sometimes even the best comics bomb, too. It's not like just because you're good, you never bomb, right? There have only been a couple of comics that were bomb-proof, I think. And it's mostly because they didn't care, right? They couldn't bomb because they weren't there for the applause or laughter, right? So like Lenny Bruce or Bill Hicks, right? These are dudes that, like, ultimately I don't think they were there for the laughs. They were there to work through some shit. Some anger problems, right? Some fucking depression problems. And how the audience reacted to them mattered less than the stage. Who's a better comedian, Joe Rogan or Dave Rubin? Ooh, man, that's tough, man. I don't like either of them, to be honest with you. How's that? Oh my God, yeah, Bill. And there were just sometimes where Bill was just there to blow off fucking steam. You know, some of his like really rough kind of road work. He did this thing called the UFO tour, right? Where it was just like a tour of the South. And he treated that just like a dumping ground for all his angst. It's like trying to trigger a fight with some redneck so that he could just, you know what I mean? Like humiliate him from the stage. Anyway. All right. I'm going to get out of here. I'll see you guys next time.